Social class. So students, before entering into today's chapter, I am going to show you some things and you are going to observe it and tell me what it is. So first, what is this, children? This is a sweater. This is a scarf. When do we use it? We use it during the winter season, right? Next thing. What is this? This is an umbrella. When do we use umbrella? During monsoon season, or you call it as rainy season. Yes. And you all like this season very much because we'll all get holidays, isn't it? Yes. And when do we wear cotton clothes? We wear cotton clothes during summer season because it absorbs so much of heat, isn't it? So, can you get what lesson we are going to start today? Yes, it is about weather and climate. So, first of all, what is weather? So, it is defined as the condition of air temperature, air pressure, wind, humidity and rainfall at a given place and the time. So, what is humidity? It is the moisture content in the air. Okay. So, the weather changes every day. So, today it may be hot and dry and tomorrow it might rain. So, it continuously changes. And the changes in weather makes us, it also depends upon what food we eat and about what dress we wear, and everything depends upon weather. Okay. And next, what is climate? The weather conditions that prevail over a large area and for a long period of time is called the climate. Okay. So, in this lesson, we are going to concentrate only on climate and what are the factors which influence climate, and we are going to learn about the heat zones of the earth. So, we have three heat zones. Okay. The torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. So, this is what we are going to see in this lesson in detail.
So children, will start with weather. Okay. So as I told you, what is weather? Weather is the state of the atmosphere with respect to heat or cold, wetness or dryness, calm or a storm, or the clearness or the cloudiness of the sky. And it may be hot and dry today, but tomorrow it may be rainy and wet. So children, weather changes every day, and the changes in weather give rise to seasons. So in India, we mainly experience three seasons, and you all know what are they, isn't it? So summer season, winter season and monsoon season. So when you think of summer season, what comes to your mind, children? Yes, ice creams, then sunglasses, then you all will be going for beach and for hill resorts to keep yourself cool, right? Next one is winter season. During winter season we already feel very cool, so we wear warm clothes during winter, and we like to have hot drinks during winter season. And last one is the monsoon season, that is a rainy season. So rainy season, so you all will be carrying an umbrella and raincoat with you, isn't it? And you all get more number of holidays during the monsoon season, isn't it, children? So you all like winter and monsoon season very much, isn't it? Yes. And you also have to keep in mind that our lifestyle varies according to our seasons. So it influences what we eat, what we wear, and even the types of house we live in. So it also determines the crops that farmers grow. The next one which you're going to see is climate. So that is the main topic in this lesson, children. So what is climate? The weather conditions that prevail over a large area and for a long period of time is called climate. And the climate of a place remains more or less the same year after year. And the different parts of the world have different types of climate. And on the basis of the prevailing climatic conditions, the world can be divided into 7 major climatic regions. Shall we see now? So children, you can look at the map closely. Okay. So see, in that key given there, we are having very hot and wet, very hot and dry, cool and dry, warm and wet, very cold and Mediterranean. Okay, and all these have separate names in the map. So first you observe very hot and wet. So very hot and wet, it is shaded in orange color, that is the equatorial region. Okay, and the next one is hot and wet. So the hot and wet areas around the world is shaded in light brown in color, it is the savannas. And yellow in color, very hot and dry, is the desert. You all know the desert area, it is very hot and dry throughout the year. And next one, light lavender colors, cool and dry climate. So that is called as a taiga region, Taiga, taiga region. Okay. And light green in color, warm and wet weather. Okay, warm and wet weather, you call it as the prairies. Okay, and dark violet in color, which is very cold region is called as a tundra region. Okay, children. And the last one, the gridded part, that is the Mediterranean region, which is gridded in green color. You have grids there. Okay, that is the Mediterranean region. So these all 7 are the major climatic regions of the world. Okay, children. So next we are going to discuss about the topic what influences climate. So many factors influence the distribution of heat on earth, thereby affecting the climate. So now let us know about them. So first one is distance from the equator. So children, look at the figure closely. The rays of the sun fall on the surface of the earth. So near the equator, these rays are vertical and are spread over a small area. And as we move away from the equator and towards the poles, that is closer towards the poles, the rays become slanting and they cover a larger area. And thus places near the equator receive more heat since it faces the sun directly. Okay, children, can you understand? And these places are hotter than those which are away from the equator. So now let's check out a fact, children. This is Mount Kilimanjaro, which is in Africa. Okay, and even though it is situated near the equator, its peaks remain covered with snow all the year round because of its height, this altitude. Okay. So the next factor is height above the sea level, that is altitude. So you know that the hill stations such as Shimla, Nainital and Ooty are cool even in summers. And most peaks in the Himalayas are covered with snow and ice even during the summers. And this shows that places located at higher altitudes are colder than those at lower altitudes, even if they are situated on the same latitude on the earth. Okay, so the height above the sea level is the most important factor affecting climate. So the next one is distance from the sea. So places near the coast have a moderate climate like as of Pondicherry. Okay, so it is neither too hot nor too cold here, and this is due to the effect of the sea breezes. So water bodies heat up and cool down at a lower rate and than the land, and in summer therefore the sea is cooler than the land. Hence air over the sea is cooler than the over the land. So this cool air is called the sea breeze. So the breeze which is blowing from the sea to the land is called as the sea breeze. Can you understand, children? And exactly the opposite happens during the winter. Okay, children. So from the land the breeze falls over to the sea. That is called land breeze. Can you understand? So in winter the opposite happens and the land becomes warmer. Okay, and places far away from the sea do not get sea breezes. So they are extremely hot in summer and very cold in winter. And such a climate is called the extreme climate. So now let us compare the climatic condition of Delhi and Chennai. So Chennai is located along the coast while Delhi is located far away from the coast. Okay, so as Chennai is nearer to the equator, it should be hotter than Delhi in the summer season, isn't it? But this is not so. So Chennai experiences a mild climate throughout the year as it is near the coast. Can you understand, children? Though it is near the equator, what happens? From the sea, you will be receiving the sea breeze throughout the year. So only the climate is mild throughout the year. Okay. So children, the next one is about the direction of winds. So winds blowing from the hot regions increase the temperature of a place, while those blowing from the cold regions decrease the temperature, that is bringing the temperature down. And Delhi is hot in summer due to the dry hot winds that blow from Rajasthan, and in winter the cold winds from the Himalayas make the northern India very cold. Okay, and the winds blowing from the sea make the land close to the sea cool and moist, and sometimes the wind brings clouds with them and they cause heavy rainfall. And the last factor is humidity and rainfall. So first of all, what is humidity? The moisture or the water vapor present in the air is called humidity. And this humid air causes rainfall. And places near the equator, as you know, it will be very hot, isn't it? And humid, and they receive a lot of rainfall. And air over deserts does not have moisture. And so these places receive very little or no rainfall. They remain only hot and dry. Okay, children. And very cold places experiences snowfall like northern India. And the amount of rainfall and the season when it falls also influence the climate of a place. Understood, children? So what are the factors which we discussed? The first one was about the distance from the equator, second one height above the sea level, and third one distance from the sea, fourth one direction of winds, and the fifth one is humidity and rainfall. So now we are going to see about the heat zones of the earth. So we can divide the earth into three heat zones on the basis of the difference in their temperature. So what are they? First one, torrid zone. Second one is temperate zone, and third one is frigid zone. So let's see about torrid zone. So the torrid zone or the tropical zone lies on both sides of the equator, as you can see in the figure. Okay, and it lies between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, and the climate is hot and humid throughout the year because the direct rays of the sun fall over it. Okay, children, can you understand? So torrid zone, the climate will be very hot and humid throughout the year. So the next one is the temperate zone. So children, the areas lying between the torrid zone and the frigid zone in both the hemispheres are called the temperate zones, and it is neither very hot nor very cold here, as these zones are away from the equator and also from the poles. And the next one will be frigid zone. So the areas lying between the Arctic Circle in the North Pole, okay, and in the northern hemisphere, and that between the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere are called as the frigid zones. And this zone receives only the slanting rays of the sun, as I already showed you in the picture, and it remains very cold throughout the year. So what are the zones, children? Three heat zones: torrid zone, temperate zone, and frigid zone. Okay. So children, now let's discuss some question answers from the lesson. Okay, so first question, why do places near the equator receive more heat than those near the poles? So places near the equator receive more heat because the sun's rays are vertical near the equator and are spread over a smaller area, and the sun's rays are slanting near the poles and are spread over a large area. Therefore, places near the poles receive less heat. Okay. Next one. Write the difference between weather and climate. So, you all know what is weather, isn't it? So, weather is a condition of air, temperature, air pressure, wind, humidity, and rainfall in the atmosphere at a given place and time. And weather changes every day. And climate is the weather condition that prevail over a large area and for a long period. And the climate of a place remains more or less the same year after year. Okay. Next one. Why does Chennai have a moderate climate? So you all know Chennai is near the sea coast and they have a moderate climate. And this is due to the effect of the sea breeze. And in summer, what will happen, children? The sea is cooler than the land. And hence, air over the sea is cooler than that over the land. And this cool air is called sea breeze, and it blows from sea to land and making the land cooler. And I told you in the winter, the opposite happens and the land becomes warmer. Okay, fourth one, how do winds influence the climate of a place? So, winds have a major influence on the climate of a place. So, winds coming from the hot regions increase the temperature like that of a Thar desert, and while those coming from the cold regions like the northern mountains, they decrease the temperature of the place. So, sometimes winds bring clouds with them and they also cause heavy rainfall. Okay, last question. Name the three heat zones of the earth. So first one is the torrid zone, which is hot and humid throughout the year. Second one is temperate zone, which is neither very hot nor very cold. And the last one is the frigid zone, which remains cold throughout the year. So children, in this lesson we have discussed about what is weather, what is climate, what is the difference between weather and climate, and that climate depends upon many factors such as distance from the equator, height above the sea level, distance from the sea, direction from which the winds blow, humidity and rainfall. Then at last we have discussed about the heat zones of the earth. Name the heat zones of the earth: the torrid zone, which has hot and humid climate, the temperate zone, which has a moderate climate, and the frigid zone, which has a very cold climate. Okay. So children, complete your classwork neatly with legible handwriting and do the activity given. Don't touch it for a long time. Do it in the time given. Okay, and keep it ready.